Be me, 22, posting on 4chan at 2:47 a.m. because my sleep schedule is beyond repair, scrolling through catalog looking for something that isn't complete garbage. Decide to make my own thread for once instead of just lurking like a coward. Start typing Greentext about my pathetic life. Realize halfway through that someone is going to read this, not just someone, but you specifically. Yes, you, the person currently reading this sentence on your phone while pretending to work, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube while eating cereal at 3 p.m. because your life is also a disaster. Either way, you clicked on this title because it was weird and now you're committed. My face. When I can predict your behavior through a screen, you probably saw this title in your recommended and thought, what the hell is this supposed to mean? Clicked it anyway because curiosity killed the cat, and you're apparently the cat. Now you're here reading about me predicting that you'd be here reading about me predicting this. It's like Inception, but for losers on the internet. Anyway, let me tell you about Emily. You don't know Emily yet, but you will. She's the reason I'm writing this at 2:50 a.m. instead of sleeping like a normal human being. Met Emily at the library 3 weeks ago. She was reading some thick book about psychology while I was Googling how to talk to girls on the public computer. Smooth, I know. She looked over at my screen, saw what I was searching, and laughed. Not a mean laugh, more like this is adorable and pathetic laugh. Having trouble with social interaction? She asked. Something like that, I replied, closing the browser tab faster than my dad left for cigarettes. What's your name? She said. Anon, I said without thinking. Your real name, not your internet persona. Oh, Jake. She smiled and went back to her book. That was it. Entire conversation lasted maybe 30 seconds. But those 30 seconds have been replaying in my head for 3 weeks straight. You know that feeling, right? Of course you do. You're reading a 4chan Greentext story at whatever ungodly hour it currently is. We're both disasters. We understand each other. Started going to the library every Tuesday because that's when she's there. Not to talk to her or anything, just to exist in the same space. Like a creep, but a harmless creep. She noticed me coming regularly, started nodding when she saw me. Small progress, but I'll take it. Last Tuesday, she was reading a different book. The Psychology of Online Behavior and Digital Relationships. Looked directly at me while reading it. Coincidence? I think not. This girl is studying me like I'm her thesis project, which honestly makes me feel important for the first time in years. You're probably wondering where this story is going. Well, yesterday everything changed. Was at the library doing my usual Tuesday lurking. Emily walked over to my computer. What are you working on today? She asked. Showed her my screen, was browsing 4chan obviously. Greentext stories, I explained. I know what those are, she said. You know about 4chan. I'm writing my senior thesis on anonymous online communities and their storytelling methods. My brain did the Windows XP shutdown noise. So you've been studying me this whole time? Not just you, but you're definitely an interesting case study. Case study? The way you've been coming here every Tuesday, positioning yourself where I can see you but never actually approaching. It's textbook internet behavior translated to real life. She knew the entire time. So what's your conclusion, doctor? I asked. That online personas make real-world interaction even harder because you're used to having time to craft responses. Like right now, you're probably thinking of 3 different ways to respond to what I just said. She was right, I was. Option 1, make a joke to deflect. Option 2, get defensive about being analyzed. Option 3, actually engage with what I'm saying. Called me out completely. Which option would you choose if this was a Greentext story, she asked. Probably option 1, make it funny so people reading don't think I'm too pathetic. People reading? Yeah, like if someone was reading this conversation right now. She looked confused for a second. You think about your life as if other people are watching it, don't you? No, most people don't narrate their existence for an imaginary audience. But you're doing research on people who do exactly that. She paused, pen hovering over her notebook. You're right, that's actually a really good point. Can I ask you something? I said, sure. Are you talking to me because you genuinely like me or because I'm research material? Both, she said immediately. Both? You started as research, but you're actually kind of sweet in a weird internet way. Sweet in a weird internet way is the best compliment I've ever received. She laughed. Your standards are concerningly low. Hey, person reading this right now. Emily looked around confused. Who are you talking to? The people who will read this story later. Jake, there's nobody else here. Not here, but they'll be here when they read this. She stared at me for a solid 10 seconds. You really do think your life is being watched by strangers? Isn't yours? No, definitely not. Well, it is now, because you're in my story, Simon. She opened her notebook and started writing frantically. What are you writing? Notes about this conversation. This is fascinating. Am I going to be in your thesis? You're going to be my entire thesis. My face when I realize I accidentally became someone's college project. So what happens now? I asked. Now you're going to ask me out and I'm going to say yes. How do you know I was going to ask you out? Because that's what happens in stories like this. Stories like what? Meet cute narratives with socially awkward protagonists. You think this is a meet cute? I think this is you creating a meet cute by narrating it as one. My brain was melting trying to follow this logic. So will you go out with me? Yes, but only if you promise to tell me how this story ends. How can I tell you how it ends if we're still living it? Exactly, that's the interesting part. We exchanged numbers, planned to meet Friday for coffee. She left, I sat there trying to process what just happened. Opened my laptop, came straight to 4chan to post this, which brings us to right now. You, reading this, probably wondering if this is real or just creative writing. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure myself. The line between what actually happened and how I'm telling it is getting blurry. Emily was right about the narration thing. I do think about my life like people are watching. Probably because people are watching like you right now. You're literally proof that she was right. Anyway, it's Friday morning now. Meeting Emily for coffee in 3 hours. Have no idea what to talk about since she already knows everything about my psychology. Maybe I'll ask her about her thesis. Or maybe I'll just let her study me some more. Still can't believe a girl said yes when I asked her out. First time that's ever happened. You're probably happy for me, random internet stranger. Or maybe you think this is fake and gay. Either way, you read this far, so you're invested now. Update. Coffee date went well. Emily brought a voice recorder. For research purposes, she said, talked for 2 hours about internet culture, loneliness, and the psychology of anonymity. Weirdest first date ever, but somehow perfect. She asked if I mind being her thesis subject. Told her as long as she keeps going out with me, she can study me all she wants. Deal, she said. But I want to interview your online friends too. I don't have online friends. The people who read your stories are doubters. They're not really friends, they're just there. Exactly, I want to understand that relationship. So here's the weird part. Emily wants to talk to you. Yes, you're reading this right now. She's creating a survey about people who read Greentext stories. Wants to know why you clicked on this title, what you expected versus what you got. Whether you feel connected to anonymous strangers sharing their stories. If you're interested, she'll post the link in the comments. Probably won't though because this is 4chan and comments are usually cursed, but the offer stands. Anyway, we've been dating for 2 weeks now. She still takes notes when we hang out. Not gonna lie, it's kinda hot having someone that interested in your psychology. Even if that interest started as academic research. She's teaching me that the way I narrate my life isn't weird, it's just different. Apparently lots of people do it, I'm just more honest about it. You probably do it too. Right now you're thinking about how you would tell someone about reading this story. Or maybe you're thinking about your own weird dating experiences. See? Narration. Emily's thesis is due next month. She's calling it The Observer Effect in Personal Narrative, How Imagined Audiences Shape Authentic Experience. Basically, do people live differently when they think others are watching? Answer, yes, obviously. Like right now, I'm ending this story because I know you expect a conclusion. In real life, stories don't end, they just keep going. But this is the internet, so I have to wrap it up somehow. Emily and I are still dating. She still studies me, I still narrate everything. We're both weirdos, but we're compatible weirdos. She's probably reading over my shoulder right now. Hi, Emily. She says hi back and wants me to tell you that her research is going well. Also wants to know if you've ever thought about how reading other people's stories changes your own behavior, because apparently that's the next phase of her research. The psychology of people who consume anonymous personal narratives. You're all test subjects and you don't even know it. Anyway, that's my story. The story about you reading the story, which is now over, unless you go read another Greentext story, in which case it continues, because you're always reading, always watching, always part of someone else's narrative. Even when you think you're just scrolling mindlessly, you're not mindless, you're engaged. You're here right now at the end of the sentence, and that makes you part of the story. Thanks for reading. Emily says thanks too. She's definitely going to get an A on this thesis. Be me, 24, work construction, so I eat Subway every lunch break because it's cheap and close. Same location for 6 months, know the whole routine. Walk in, order foot-long Italian BMT, white bread, provolone cheese. Always the same girl working lunch shift, short, dark hair, name tag says Chloe. First few times she was normal, polite customer service voice. What can I get you today? Would you like it toasted? Standard Subway employee behavior. But something changed around month 2. Started noticing she got more aggressive with my sandwich specifically. When other customers order, she's gentle with the bread. When I order, she grabs that bread like it owes her money, slams it on the counter, cuts it open like she's performing surgery on her worst enemy. Thought maybe she was just having bad days, but it kept happening every single time. Watch her make sandwiches for people ahead of me in line. Gentle placement of meat, careful cheese distribution. My turn comes up. Suddenly she's the Hulk. Throws ham and salami onto bread like she's feeding lions at the zoo. Cheese gets slapped down so hard it bounces. Any vegetables? She asks through gritted teeth. Lettuce, tomato, onions, please. She grabs lettuce with the intensity of someone who's been personally wronged by leafy greens. Tomatoes get dropped from maximum height. Onions scattered like she's casting a spell. This has been going on for 4 months straight. Start timing my visits to see if it's consistent. Tuesday, 12:15 p.m., sandwich made with pure rage. Thursday, 1:30 p.m., bread practically assaulted. Friday, 12:45 p.m., vegetables applied like punishment. It's definitely intentional. But what did I do to this girl? Rack my brain trying to remember any interaction that went bad. Never been rude, always say please and thank you. Tip when I have cash. Never complained about anything. Genuinely have no idea why she hates me. Decide to test a theory, change my order slightly. Can I get a foot-long turkey instead? She pauses, looks confused for a second, makes the turkey sandwich normally. Gentle bread handling, careful meat placement. Next day, back to Italian BMT, immediately back to anger sandwich construction. She specifically hates my usual order, or she specifically hates me ordering my usual order. Either way, I'm getting personally victimized by a sandwich artist. Start bringing coworkers to witness this phenomenon. Dude, just watch what she does when I order. Coworker Rick orders first, gets the full customer service experience. My turn. Foot-long Italian BMT, please. Chloe's entire demeanor changes. Grabs bread like she's strangling it. Rick's eyes go wide. Holy shit, she really does hate you. Told you. What did you do to her? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This becomes lunch entertainment for the crew. Guys start betting on how aggressively she'll handle the vegetables. $5 says she throws the pickles. 10 says she stabs the sandwich with the knife. She never disappoints, always delivers maximum hostility. But here's the weird part. Sandwich always tastes perfect. Like, she puts the exact right amount of everything. Proportions are flawless. She hates making it, but she makes it correctly. Maybe she's just a perfectionist who's angry about having to make the same boring sandwich every day, decide to switch things up. Can I get extra cheese today? She looks at me like I just asked her to solve world hunger. Extra cheese? Yeah, double provolone. She grabs cheese with both hands, slaps it down so hard the entire sandwich bounces. But she puts the perfect amount of extra cheese. Angry precision. This girl is an artist, and I'm her least favorite canvas. Weeks pass, same routine. Walk in, she sees me, her whole body language shifts. Shoulders tense up, jaw clenches. I become the final boss of her workday. Other employees start noticing too. Older manager lady pulls her aside one day. Can't hear what they're saying, but Chloe keeps looking at me, shaking her head, gesturing at the sandwich station. Manager walks over after. Is everything okay with your orders, sir? Yeah, everything's great. Chloe mentioned you've been particular about your sandwich. Particular how? She says you order the exact same thing every day and it's repetitive. Finally, some answers. Should I order something different? No, order whatever you want. She has opinions about routine customers. Opinions about routine customers. This girl is personally offended by my consistency. Decide to confront the situation directly. Next day, wait until lunch rush dies down. Just me and Chloe at the counter. Can I ask you something? She looks suspicious. Do you hate making my sandwich? Long pause. Why would you ask that? Because you make it like you're angry at it. I make all sandwiches the same way. No, you don't. I've watched you. You've been watching me? Realize how creepy that sounds. Not watching you specifically, just notice the difference in sandwich construction techniques. She stares at me for 10 seconds. You want to know why? Yeah, because you order the most boring sandwich on the menu every single day for 6 months. It's boring? Italian BMT is the default sandwich. It's what people order when they can't decide. But I did decide I like Italian BMT. Nobody likes Italian BMT, it's just acceptable. I genuinely like it. You like the most generic combination of the 3 most basic meats? Yes? She looks at me like I just told her I enjoy watching paint dry. Why don't you try something else? Like what? Literally anything else. What do you recommend? Her entire attitude changes. Suddenly interested, engaged. You want an actual recommendation? Yeah, she thinks for a minute. Turkey and Swiss, add bacon, spinach instead of lettuce, banana peppers, light mayo, oregano. That sounds complicated. It's not complicated, it's just better. Okay, I'll try it. She makes this sandwich with completely different energy. Careful attention to each ingredient. Explains why each thing works together. Spinach has more flavor than lettuce. Banana peppers add sweetness and acid. Oregano ties it all together. Hands me the sandwich like she's presenting art. Try this and tell me it's not better than your boring Italian BMT. Take a bite. It's significantly better. This is really good. She smiles for the first time in 6 months. See? You just needed someone to save you from yourself. Save me from myself? From ordering the same boring sandwich every day like a robot. Realize this girl wasn't angry at me personally. She was angry at my lack of culinary imagination. So you've been making my sandwich angrily because you thought I could do better? Exactly. That's actually kind of sweet. Don't make it weird, but she's still smiling. Start ordering different things every day. She gets excited about making recommendations. Try the chicken teriyaki with pepper jack. What about meatball marinara with extra cheese and jalapenos? Turns out Chloe knows every possible sandwich combination, has strong opinions about flavor profiles, went to culinary school before working at Subway. Why are you working here if you went to culinary school? Student loans don't pay themselves. This is temporary until I save enough to open my own place. Suddenly makes sense why she was frustrated. Here's someone with actual food knowledge stuck, making corporate sandwiches, and I was ordering the most uninspired option possible, every single day for 6 months. No wonder she was angry. Sorry for being boring for 6 months. You weren't boring, you were just unimaginative. Is there a difference? Boring people don't ask for recommendations. Boring people don't notice when their sandwich artist is frustrated. Fair point. We develop a routine where she suggests new combinations. I try them and give feedback. She starts getting creative. What if we did Italian BMT but with better ingredients? Prosciutto instead of ham, capicola instead of salami, fresh mozzarella. Add some basil, balsamic glaze. Makes me a sandwich that costs the same as Italian BMT but tastes like fine dining. How is this the same price? Because corporate doesn't understand food cost. They just see meat plus bread, a sandwich. Other customers start noticing the elaborate sandwiches she makes for me. Excuse me, can I get whatever he's having? Chloe looks at me. You okay with me making your sandwich for other people? It's your creation, do whatever you want. She starts making gourmet versions of basic sandwiches for anyone who asks. Word spreads, lunch rush gets busier, people specifically come in. During her shift, manager notices the increase in sales. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Chloe gets promoted to shift supervisor, more freedom to experiment with ingredients. Starts a sandwich of the day special, all because she got frustrated with my lack of creativity. Months later, we're friends now. She still roasts my food choices, but in a friendly way. You want to try the new turkey club, or are you reverting to your Italian BMT phase? What's wrong with Italian BMT? Nothing's wrong with it. It's just the Ford Taurus of sandwiches. Reliable and gets the job done? Exactly. But why drive a Taurus when you could drive a Ferrari? She's not wrong. Last week she told me she's saved enough money to quit, opening her own deli next month. You should come to the grand opening. Will you make my sandwich angry if I order Italian BMT? I won't serve Italian BMT at my place. Why not? Because I'm going to have standards. Realize I'm going to miss getting roasted by my sandwich artist. What am I going to do without you judging my food choices? Learn to judge them yourself. I don't know how. You learned, you just needed someone to push you. She's right. 6 months ago, I ordered the same thing every day without thinking. Now I actually consider what I want to eat. Ask questions about ingredients. Try new combinations. All because one girl got frustrated enough to make my sandwich with visible anger. Sometimes the best teachers are the ones who refuse to accept your mediocrity, even when they're just making sandwiches at Subway. Be me, 25, live in shitty apartment complex where half the electrical grid was installed during the Stone Age. Power goes out constantly during any weather event. Rain, wind, somebody sneezes too hard 3 blocks away. Invest in good surge protectors and battery packs because I'm not an idiot. Unlike everyone else in this building, apparently. First power outage after moving in, knock on door during thunderstorm. Open it to find girl from apartment next door, holding laptop charger. Soaking wet, desperate look in her eyes. Hey, I'm Violet. I live next door. Can I plug this in? Your lights are still on. Look behind her. Entire hallway is dark except my unit. Sure, come in. She rushes to nearest outlet. Plugs in laptop like her life depends on it. Thank you so much. I have a paper due tomorrow and my laptop died. College? Grad school, psychology program. Makes sense, she looks stressed enough to be in grad school. Sits on my couch typing frantically while her laptop charges, storm passes, power comes back on. You're a lifesaver, she says, unplugging her stuff. No problem. Leaves, think nothing of it. 2 weeks later, another storm, knock on door. It's Violet again, this time with phone charger and portable speaker. Power's out again. Can I use your outlets? How do you know my power's still on? I can see your TV through the window. Slightly creepy, but whatever. Let her in. She sets up like she's moving in temporarily. Charges phone, connects speaker to Bluetooth, starts playing music while doing homework at my kitchen table. Do you mind if I work here? It's too dark in my place. Sure. This becomes a pattern. Every power outage, Violet appears with increasingly more electronics. Laptop, phone, tablet, portable fan, coffee maker. Wait, coffee maker? Violet, how did you get a coffee maker over here? Very carefully. She's made herself completely at home, using my Wi-Fi, eating my snacks, commenting on my Netflix choices. Why are you watching this garbage? It's my apartment. Yeah, but you have terrible taste. Changes it to some documentary about serial killers. Much better. Power comes back on after the few hours. She packs up all her stuff like a traveling circus. Thanks again, you're the best. Starts happening more frequently, not just during storms anymore. Apparently her apartment has electrical issues. My circuit breaker trips when I use more than one appliance. Have you told the landlord? He says it's fine, I just need to manage my power usage better. That's not how electricity works. I know, but fighting with him is exhausting. So she just comes over whenever her power situation gets annoying, which is basically every other day. Brings her entire digital life to my apartment, laptop, phone, tablet, gaming console, hair straightener. You brought a PlayStation? My place doesn't have enough outlets for everything. She's essentially using my apartment as her personal power station. Starts leaving stuff here between visits. Do you mind if I leave my charger? I'll be back tomorrow anyway. Sure. Slowly accumulates a corner of my living room dedicated to Violet's electronics. Her laptop charger, phone cable, gaming headset, extra battery packs. It's like she's colonizing my apartment one device at a time. That face when I realize she's basically moved in without actually moving in. Confrontation time. Violet, we need to talk. About what? About you basically living here whenever your power goes out. I'm not living here, I'm just visiting with my electronics. You spent 14 hours here yesterday. My power was out for 14 hours. No, it wasn't. I saw your lights on when I got home. Caught red-handed. She looks genuinely embarrassed. Okay, fine. Sometimes I come over even when my power works. Why? Because your apartment is nicer and you have better Wi-Fi. And you don't have to pay for electricity. That too? At least she's honest. Violet, you can't just use my place as your backup power source. Why not? You're not using all your outlets. That's not the point. What is the point? Good question. The point is, I don't know, boundaries? Are you asking me or telling me? I'm telling you. Okay, so what boundaries do you want? Think about it for a minute. Honestly, I don't mind the company. Apartment gets lonely, and she's actually pretty cool when she's not being a power leech. How about you ask before coming over instead of just showing up? Deal. And maybe contribute to the electric bill if you're going to be here all the time. How much? $20 a month? 15. Deal. Shake hands like we just negotiated a business contract. Weird arrangement, but it works. She starts texting before coming over. Power's flickering. Can I bring my laptop? Storm's coming. Mind if I camp out for a few hours? My PS5 needs updating. Your internet is faster. Sometimes her reasons get increasingly ridiculous. My apartment is too quiet. Can I come over and use your noise? What noise? You know, living noises, refrigerator humming, air conditioning. You want to come over for ambient sound? Exactly. This girl is weird but entertaining. Starts bringing food as payment for electricity. Homemade cookies, leftover takeout, groceries she bought but won't use. I got too much milk. You want some? Why did you buy milk if you don't drink milk? I forgot I don't drink milk. She's absent-minded but thoughtful. Months pass. She's basically a part-time roommate. Has her own drawer in my kitchen for her phone chargers. Knows my Netflix password and Wi-Fi network. Feeds my fish when I'm out of town. How did you get into my apartment? You gave me a spare key, remember? Do not remember giving her a key. When did I give you a key? Last month when you were sick and I brought you soup. I was delirious with fever. Exactly, you were very grateful. Legally questionable, but practically helpful. She actually takes good care of the place. Does dishes, takes out trash, waters plants. You don't have to clean my apartment. I'm here all the time, might as well help. That's actually really nice. Don't get weird about it. But it is weird in a good way. Having someone around who cares about the space. Even if she's technically just a power parasite. Friends start asking if Violet is my girlfriend. No, she's my electrical dependent. Your what? She uses my power outlets. That sounds like a euphemism. It's not a euphemism. She literally just charges her devices here. Every day? Most days. And you're okay with this? She pays part of the electric bill and brings food. Dude, she's basically your roommate. No, roommates split rent. What does she pay? $15 a month in snacks. That's not even close to half the utilities. Realize I'm getting ripped off, but also realize I don't care. Having Violet around makes the apartment feel more alive, even when she's just sitting quietly typing on her laptop, or arguing with me about what to watch. We're not watching another true crime documentary. Fine, but nothing with laugh tracks. What's wrong with laugh tracks? They're insulting to human intelligence. You watch anime. Anime doesn't need laugh tracks to be entertaining. She has strong opinions about everything. Entertainment, food, politics, the correct way to load a dishwasher. You're putting the plates in wrong. There's a wrong way to put plates in a dishwasher. They need to face the center for optimal water circulation. Optimal water circulation? Did you not read the manual? Who reads dishwasher manuals? People who want clean dishes. She reorganizes my entire kitchen for maximum efficiency. Your spice rack makes no sense. It's alphabetical. It should be organized by frequency of use. How do you know how often I use different spices? I've been here for 8 months. I know your cooking patterns. 8 months. She's been essentially living here for 8 months, paying $15 and bringing occasional snacks that feel when you realize you accidentally got a roommate. Violet, we need to renegotiate our arrangement. Why? Because you're here more than you're at your own place. That's not true. You left your toothbrush in my bathroom for convenience, and your spare clothes in my closet, just in case. And you changed your Amazon delivery address to my apartment. Your building has better package security. She's basically moved in without moving in. Do you even sleep at your place anymore? Sometimes. How often is sometimes? Weekends. You sleep here 5 nights a week? Your couch is more comfortable. My face when I realize. I've been accidentally living with someone for months. Violet, if you're going to live here, you need to actually live here. What do you mean? I mean, pay real rent, split utilities properly, get your name on the lease. Are you asking me to move in? I'm saying you already have moved in. We just need to make it official. She thinks about it for a long time. What about my apartment? What about it? I still have a lease there. How much is your rent? $800. How much do you actually spend there? Not much. So you're paying $800 for a storage unit. It's not a storage unit, it's my apartment that you don't live in. I live in it sometimes. Weekends only. She realizes how ridiculous this sounds. Okay, fine, maybe I have moved in accidentally. So make it official. What would my rent be here? Half of everything. That's more than $15. Significantly more. But I get actual roommate privileges? Like what? Input on apartment decisions, equal Netflix control, bathroom storage space. Sure. And you can't kick me out during power outages. Why would I kick you out during power outages? Just making sure. We work out the details over the next week. She breaks her lease, officially moves her stuff over. Turns out she didn't have much stuff because most of it was already here. Where's all your furniture? What furniture? Bed, dresser, kitchen stuff. Oh, I was just sleeping on an air mattress and eating takeout. For how long? Since I moved to the city. That was over a year ago. Yeah, no wonder she preferred my apartment. She was living like a college freshman in her first place. Now she's officially my roommate instead of my electrical parasite. Still argues about TV shows and reorganizes my stuff. But now she pays half the rent and can't get evicted for overusing my outlets. Friends ask how we ended up living together. She needed my electricity, and that turned into roommates. She never left. That's actually kind of romantic. It's not romantic, it's practical. She basically moved in to be closer to your power. Yes, and now you share everything. As roommates. Roommates who spend all their time together. Because we live together. By choice now. Realize they have a point. Maybe this arrangement is less practical and more personal than I thought. But Violet seems happy with the setup. Has her own space but doesn't have to worry about her crappy electrical system. I get help with bills and someone to argue with about Netflix choices. Win-win situation, even if it started with her basically stealing my electricity. Sometimes the best roommates are the ones who start as power thieves.